If you've seen the second teardown video I did for the AR12, you know that to get the upper and lower apart, you have to get into the lower down here. There's a bolt that sits down there. It's a 13mm bolt. You can see it here. 13mm bolt with the washer. The actual thread on this, it's an 8mm by 1.25 thread pitch. The thing is, I was going to actually modify this a little later rather than sooner because this is aluminum. Just unscrewing and screwing this a lot to clean the gun will probably eventually run into some issues. Well, on first teardown for this one, I ran into those issues. So you can see here those threads are already chewed up. And this is basically why I wanted to modify this, is to avoid this situation. So what I'm going to do, I have a tap. You can see here, just an 8 by 125. Basically going to clean this up and then install a stud, and I can show you what that looks like when I'm done. Here's what we're working with to clean up this upper. Have my tap, cutting oil, an 8 by 125 threaded rod, and then Loctite, so that once everything's cleaned up, I can just get it all put together and hopefully not have this issue anymore. So to start, what I'm going to do, I will just take the top off this and take my tap and just get the end of it there in the cutting oil, and then kind of spread that around the threads there. Make sure that's all good. Go ahead and set that aside. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand this up and go really slow so that I don't have any, basically any, you don't want to hold it sideways because you don't want any chance of it going like side loading. So just kind of feel to get it started here, just real gentle, and I think we're good here. And then what will happen is when you're working with threads that are stripped, as you are going, you will start to feel some resistance. So here's where I'm starting to run into resistance. And what I'll do is, again, I'm going to be extremely paranoid on this. I'm going to go maybe a half a turn like this to, let's do one full turn. Okay. Now, I'm going to check the underside here and see, hang on, I'm going to get my flashlight, sorry. So, where are we? Okay, so you can see I'm not coming through yet, okay? So I've gone a whole full turn into the resistance, and I'm going to back it out now. And again, very gentle. Okay. Super exciting here, I know. Okay, got that. I'm going to grab my rag here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some brake cleaner, and I'm going to clean off the threads here of any little debris that may have gotten in there. Okay, metal shavings and whatnot. Go back to my oil, just get the tip of it in there, and then spread that around. And basically repeat this process until I get the tap all the way to where I can see it coming through down here. So you can see on this, if I can get this in the frame, you can see that there are threads there. So that's basically where I'm trying to get the tap. Okay. So again, just repeat the process until you get to there. Okay, so I finished tapping this out. You can see it's very smooth at this point. I don't have to apply a lot of force to get the tap to spin. And you can see in here is the tap itself is starting to come through. So that's basically what I want. I also forgot to mention that every time I was cleaning the tap, I was also spraying out the threads of the upper itself. And you can see here, this is all of the garbage that came out of it. So make sure you're cleaning both. You don't want garbage in there when you're tapping the threads. Okay, ended up changing directions a little bit. Decided not to go with the threaded rod there. I have an Allen bolt here that I used, or that I'm going to use, I'm going to try, that I knocked down the head with a grinder. And the reason why is so that when you look at the inside here, if this will focus, there's a little divot there, or a cut in before the threads, and I figured I could take this and have it fit in there far enough in to where the bolt carrier doesn't come back and hit it. It's going to be a very tight fit, so we'll see if this works, but the reason why I did this is so that there's a little bit of a, support for this coming from the inside here. So let's get this installed and see what it does. Okay, so here we go. This is installed now. You can see right in that divot. And again, I think that's going to be enough clearance. We'll see once I get it back together and test fire it. Okay, I've pretty much got everything put back together, have the upper and lower attached. Let's take a look, see what it looks like on the inside. You can see there's the nut and a washer on the back plate, all attached to the stud that we installed into the upper. This is obviously going to be a little more tricky getting all of that attached versus just the bolt that comes with it. So what I do is I will load a socket with a washer and a nut, put some tape around it so it doesn't fall out, get it started, a few threads, just get it onto the stud, and then pull this out, remove the tape, and then finish tightening everything up. So that's basically it. Obviously this is going to void your warranty, fairly certain. So if you're worried about the warranty on the gun, don't do this. I personally think it's worth it for the longevity. I believe sooner or later that aluminum is going to strip just by taking the gun apart and cleaning it and that type of thing. So again, more than likely this will void your warranty. So if you're concerned about that, don't do this. I know for certain, if you're worried about your warranty, you definitely don't want to move your safety to the right-hand side of the gun, because I'm sure that will void the warranty. Anyway, hope that helps, and thanks for watching.